So my name is Alexa Chung.
I know the influence, I know the impact, and I know the vibes.
And there we go, guys. It's time for me to get in bed. This has been fun.
Hey, it's Nikki Jensen.
And Brie Piccone.
And we're Late to the Party, a weekly podcast about film, fashion, and pop culture from two best friends mentally getting ready to ruin our best friend's wedding in 2011.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we are here with our lovely producer for Hurrdat Media and our lovely podcast, Grace Dunbar. Hey, Grace.
Hey, Grace.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
It really has.
But yeah, today we are talking about the 2011 film Bridesmaids, starring Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph, and directed by Paul Feig, which I know this is like a touchstone movie for Brie and I's friendship.
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship with Bridesmaids?
So my relationship with the film, it came out in 2011, so I would have been starting middle school, and I was way too young to be watching this rated R film. But I was always a fan of Kristen Wiig, and so I think that's why I watched it. And it has been a staple film for, over 10 years for me.
Nice.
Yeah. No, oh my God. It's funny that you mentioned middle school, though, because I'm having a memory now of Brie and I going to the movies to see this.
Yeah.
And being like, please don't card us. Please don't card us.
I mean, looking back now, I don't think it's as raunchy as it could.
Not.
I mean, the opening scene, I guess, was not appropriate for a middle schooler, but the rest of it, it's like funny and lighthearted.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you ever get a chance though to watch the some of the deleted scenes, it could have been a way raunchier film.
Yeah. Speaking of deleted, you know Paul Rudd was supposed to be in the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen that deleted scene?
I have. The ice skating.
That's wild.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And I wonder why they just cut his whole character.
I don't know if it's because I've seen this movie so many times, so I'm kind of blinded by that edit. But like the Paul Rudd Kristen Wiig bit seems like in a different movie, like entirely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little much. Like at first it seems like he's super nice and seems like he could be in competition with like the cop guy that she likes. But then it takes a turn and it gets, it's like a little too over the top. Like I feel like whoever cut the movie did a good job because it could have been almost too far.
Yeah, a little out of place. And she already had two love interests. So she didn't really need a third.
True. Like she has like two polar opposites. She has like John Hamm, which is like the ultimate
yes,
like douchebag, and then Chris O'Dowd, who's just a sweet Irish cop.
You said you were a fan of Kristen Wiig. Did you watch her on like SNL and
that's where I think I discovered her and all those people during like the 2010s. But I mean, I went through a phase where I watched all of her movies, all of them that I could get my hands on. But obviously Bridesmaids was like the first one. And I was like, yes, I really like her.
I'm a huge Kristen Wiig fan. Just like that SNL cast is like the perfect cast, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm so sad that all of my favorites have moved on, which I guess you can't stay on that show forever. Unless
except for Kenan Thompson.
Yeah. But I think in Maya Rudolph, I don't know if she was ever part of the cast, SNL, but
she was.
She was? Okay.
She was.
And I know Melissa McCarthy has been on there a lot, so it just like makes sense.
This was my intro to Melissa McCarthy. I didn't watch Gilmore Girls before Bridesmaids or anything, so this was seeing her as Suki like years later blew my mind.
I know.
It was a little jarring.
I feel like a lot of times Melissa plays very similar characters, like in Tammy. I think you guys talked about that.
Yeah.
So funny.
She's hilarious, though. I love her. And she did a lot, I guess, of improv for this movie, too. Like, they kept a lot of scenes that she improved.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like crazy, too, to think, Kristen Wiig, I know, and her writing partner on this, Annie Mumolo.
Yeah.
Momolo? Yeah. Momolo, probably. And Melissa McCarthy, they all did the Groundlings.
Yeah.
So that's like an improv group in LA.
Yes. I actually went and saw a show at the Groundlings.
Ooh,
really?
How was it?
It was so good. I think this was like 2016-ish, but we went to LA and I was like, I have to go see a Groundlings show because there's so many actors that came from there and I love improv. So yeah, I definitely recommend if you go to LA.
Sure.
No.
Have you done improv, Grace?
I've done acting classes throughout high school and college, but never really in front of an audience. So no. I think you have?
Brie and I took up to 501 in improv, right after college.
Level. Okay. And did you enjoy it?
I would say for the most part. There were some ups and downs, but
Have you seen the movie Don't Think Twice with Mike Birbiglia?
No.
Well, if you ever watch that movie, it's all about an improv troupe, and they hit the nail on the head with the culture for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think Kristen Wiig got her start doing improv in college and then it just took off from there. So it's kind of crazy.
Love to see it. I love all those like SNL backstories.
Mm-hmm.
And there is such like a pedigree that like comes out of the Groundlings where it's just like, you know that they don't make no junk. You're going to get like a Will Ferrell or a Kristen Wiig from someone from the Groundlings.
Yes. So funny. And I think Annie Mumolo was at the Groundlings. Did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you seen Barb and Star too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I have. That's such a silly show. I didn't think that people were like watching it for real. I thought it was kind of like a joke movie, but some of those one-liners are so crazy.
Yeah. So funny, but I don't know if it's because I feel like Bridesmaids raised me in a way, but Bridesmaids and Barb and Star are just like my humor to a T.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. In the Midwest.
I don't know how to describe that like brand of humor. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
But Kristen Wiig is Mother.
It's Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
She really is. She was
in
in
Rudolph.
Yeah. Yeah. She was in, have you seen Mother with Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Kristen Wiig has a very short cameo in that. And
Did she? I
Yeah.
didn't catch that.
Yeah. She was one of the villains that came in and was ordering people to execute.
Vaguely remember this.
Yeah.
That movie is so crazy. Like,
I know. I
it
didn't
takes
like
a
it.
weird turn. I didn't either.
I enjoyed it, but it's one of those movies that I feel like there's a series of like Nikki watches a film on edibles.
Oh, really?
So yeah, like Mother's probably not the one to watch, but I went through a phase where every movie I was like, let me just have a little gummy. And
That's so funny. I mean, I've done that before, so. But
I think there's
I don't think you need an edible to watch Mother because it's already a trip.
Yeah, it disturbed me.
Yeah.
I would like to rewatch it though. Maybe I'll get a different message. I don't know.
Maybe keep
Just to see Kristen Wiig, I would watch it. You know?
Yeah,
Just fast forward to Kristen Wiig.
yeah. Honestly, her clip is probably on YouTube, so you don't have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Phew. Yeah. I really don't want to go through that again.
Well, before we get into the weeds, just a little plot synopsis of Bridesmaids. So the story centers on Annie, played by Kristen Wiig, who suffers a series of misfortunes after being asked to serve as maid of honor for her best friend Lillian, played by Maya Rudolph. And you meet the group of gals, the bridesmaids, and hijinks ensue.
Yep. Which montage? I know in the previous episode you talked about liking montages, and one of my favorite scenes in this film is the montage where we meet the wedding party.
Yes.
Just like a quick breakdown, who is who, what's everyone like. I just love that scene.
Which kudos to Wig and Annie Momolo. Momolo.
Mamalo?
I'm gonna butcher that every single time. Annie. The script is so well written.
Mhm.
It's just like all that exposition. It's just right.
I agree. Yeah. And I wonder how much improv was just in that one montage. I feel like obviously Melissa probably improved so much, with like falling off a cruise ship and
Yeah.
The dolphins.
The dolphins.
like no way they just had that written down.
Yeah.
No.
I think they made him like do a bunch of takes and maybe just kept. I think there was like what was written, and then they would do like some improv after to see. But
Yeah.
Which I love that style of comedy, like that. It's almost Judd Apatowian style of like the late 2000s, early 2010s, where it was just like, I know that Kristen Wiig, this script started because Judd Apatow was like, you should write something.
Yeah.
And which happened for Amy Schumer for Trainwreck and a lot of other Apatow films. But I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
He sees
like, yeah.
something.
Yeah. And like, you're going to write it and then we're going to improv and do our thing. It's cool.
Yeah. Which I love Judd Apatow. And his daughters are in films. So that's a very talented family.
For sure. And his wife is Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
so cool.
What? Yeah. So funny.
Who is like my mom in my head. I feel like she's been in every, so good. I don't know. I love her.
Yeah. I think a lot of times she plays the same character too. Just the mom.
Yes. Maybe that's why.
That's why, yeah, honestly.
But yeah, so the film opens, like we were talking about, with Kristen Wiig and John Hamm in one of the most awkward sex scenes in movie history.
It's so aggressive. And it just keeps going. It's like, okay.
And it could have gone on longer if you've seen the
we had to like
deleted
stop. It
scenes.
was like, I love when she does the walk of shame and climbs over the gate.
Yes.
It opens and she's just like sitting up there awkwardly.
I love her outfits, the blazers over everything, that like 2010s business casual look. I love also seeing characters in films that don't have that like cliched magazine job. It's so funny to just see what random jobs people in movies have. We are meeting Kristen Wiig's character Annie at her surface level bottom, and then I think she just descends.
Yeah. It's like her friend is maybe at the peak or something. Like they're very in different places in that moment, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. And I think one of the main themes of this movie is addiction, which I had to read about this because I was like, wait, what? But it was like an addiction to self-destructive behavior. I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And feeling bad for yourself, you know, and having a pity party and having meltdowns. And, you know, she meets Rhodes, the Irish. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like trying to help her, like, maybe you should bake. You should, you know, do stuff that makes you happy. And she's like, no, that's fun.
No.
You know?
Relatable, though.
I know. Why do I relate to Annie so much?
It's like, no, I'd rather go back to the guy that treats me horribly, even though there's a man right here that's showing his love for me. So I was like, oh, addiction. That is literally a theme.
Wow. For sure. And her mom visits all the AA meetings.
Yes. Like, you're not an addict. Where are you going?
Oh, but I mean, like Fight Club style, her mom is just going to these AA meetings to get the tea, to feel something.
To feel.
Honestly, yes. Which did you know that the actress that plays the mom passed away?
Yeah, Pat Carroll.
I didn't know.
Like right, even before the film came out. And so she had, I guess, a lot more raunchier scenes that they didn't want to include in the film just to kind of preserve.
Be respectful.
Yeah.
I believe this is true. You know who she is, right? Like the voice, her voice.
Oh,
You guys are gonna know Ursula, the Little Mermaid.
Oh, wait, she's Ursula?
She's Ursula.
That lady?
Uh-huh.
That sweet lady is Ursula?
that's crazy. I did not know that.
I hope that's true. I felt like I read that last night and my world stopped for a second, but now I'm second guessing.
That's really wild.
Which is also
I
full
believe it.
circle. Because Melissa McCarthy, isn't she the new
Oh, yeah.
Ursula?
Yeah, she is.
Wow.
I lied.
Nikki, you got us good.
I mean, I really
Wait a minute.
Well, I really believed my own lie too. So. You know, she died last year. Pat Carroll, rest in peace.
Oh, okay.
No. Now who is this woman? I feel very like like I just disrespected this woman's legacy. Her name was Jill Clayburgh. And claim to fame. She is the mother of the one actress in, was it American Horror Story Coven, that looked like Stevie Nicks?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A little more sense.
You know, she wasn't in a lot of movies that I've ever seen. I don't know this woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else.
But no, this is like an all-star cast. Like everyone, the Bridesmaids Effect is like an actual thing people talk about. And
What's
it's more
that?
related. So like this movie started the whole female-driven, like raunchy comedy genre pretty much.
Mhm.
And it was such a box office success. But I feel like this movie, just like The Hangover, and it was kind of marketed as the female Hangover.
Mhm.
But like that film, it spawned so many actors that are like beloved today. Like this was Rebel Wilson's first like film in the States.
Oh, was it really? Before Pitch Perfect, I guess? Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The
Wow.
year before.
Wow. Good for her. And honestly, she looked very much like her on-screen brother.
Yeah, they're
That
so
casting
weird and
was
so
wild.
funny. I love that. I love Annie's roommates in this movie. Like they're so off-putting but hilarious.
It's so funny. And the part where she reads her journal, she's like,
Uh-huh.
I thought it was a very sad handwritten book. And like, did you see the deleted scene where they're in the bathtub together?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Like, that is so crazy, so uncalled for.
Yeah.
Have you had any crazy roommate situations?
Not really. No, I got pretty lucky in school to be paired with someone that I liked and then kind of just sticking with them and staying in the friend group. So thankfully, no. Have you?
That's good.
No. Oh, Bree's been my roommate a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
Just throughout, you know, like we kind of just stuck together.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we can be roommates. We work well together.
Yeah. Let's just keep it that way.
yeah.
That's the way to go.
But yeah, but I have heard stories of people, especially like right out of college, who just have a random roommate.
Mhm.
And it's always like a story like this where they're freaks.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I could do that. I would need to know like friends of friends at least, you know, or just stick with the people you know.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Or you get someone that's like maybe in love with their brother who gets tattoos of slugs on their back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's such a good scene when she's like, maybe put a bag of peas on.
Oh my god.
Dumps the whole thing.
And then the peas, like she opens the bag and
Yes.
the peas are falling on it instead of just leaving them in the bag and putting it on her back. Like it's so funny.
So good.
It had to be another improv moment.
This movie, I feel like there's so many little moments like that that just make me laugh, like truly laugh throughout.
Mhm.
Truly. I feel like the whole like engagement party scene
Oh my gosh. Yes.
is just brilliant. And like we kind of touched on it, but we're introduced to every single lady
Mm-hmm.
and just one-liner after one-liner
Absolutely.
the whole scene.
And then can we talk about the wedding toast? Or
Please.
not the wedding
Yeah.
toast, sorry, engagement party. Yeah.
Yeah.
The constant one-upping. It's so good.
Yeah, like Annie and what's Rose Byrne's character's name? Helen.
Helen, yeah.
Yeah, which Helen's like the beautiful, like new best friend.
Mhm.
And you know what? Truth be told, I've been a nanny. And I said maybe not at a bridal party or an engagement party, but
Really?
yeah. Oh, I feel like we just talked about
like
this.
with me. Wait.
Yeah, I feel
Wait,
like
to who? No. But
just one look. Sorry. But no, her scene's so good. I love when she starts singing "That's What Friends Are For"
Yes.
randomly.
they both have to pitch it. It's like funny because it's like you get Annie's perspective a lot because you're like, wait a minute, who is this person? And like, you know, she seems kind of like normal at first, and then I feel like Helen does kind of maybe egg her on or something. So there's like this competition, like you can tell they're both kind of like competing for this friendship. And
Yeah. I felt like right off the bat, you can tell that Helen, you can tell her fakeness. You know,
Mhm.
she like you meet her and she's super nice, and then she goes, "Oh, you're so cute." Like I feel like that's such a liner that a lot of fake people use, and it's like it just progresses from there.
It's also like maybe patronizing, like to say someone's
sure.
cute.
Condescending, yeah.
I love the Melissa McCarthy intro when she gives the whole dolphin spiel, but then she's also like, "Is that your husband?" And it's just some random black guy.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna climb him like a tree if he's not.
I still quote, "I'm going to climb him like a tree."
Yeah.
You really?
Oh yeah, that's in my wheelhouse.
This movie is very quotable.
Oh
I
my
feel like.
god.
I feel like I can quote probably 60% of the film. It's
Same.
so much, especially the airplane scene.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I'm ready
Okay.
to party.
Yes. There's, I mean, help me, I'm poor. You know, like all that stuff.
Definitely.
What is this, civil rights? It's the 90s.
Like, no, you're in the wrong decade. Yeah. And then the flight attendant, he was from the Groundlings as well.
Stove?
Stove, yep. Do you want appliance? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he was there when I was there, but I just have seen, I know he's on the Groundlings too. So it's like everyone. Yeah, this cast was so carefully picked.
I love it. I love Terry Crews being like I guess he's like doing some boot camp thing in the park, but that was kind of a cool cameo.
Yeah, like a Barry's boot camp.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Which I love. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Oh, I just love Annie and Lillian's friendship so
Yes.
much. Like in the beginning when they are at the Terry Crews boot camp, just like freeloading, trying to sneak a workout class.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just, I love their friendship.
Yeah. Which, like, that makes me think. So they did that and they went to breakfast all before work. So I was like, what time did they get up to do this? And the sun is already out. So it's like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Does Lillian have like a work from home situation
Yeah, what is
before that was a
Lillian's
thing?
Job exactly? Do we know?
I don't know. What is her job?
I think she was an assistant for someone because she talks about, I don't want to go pick up your lamps or something like that.
Oh yeah,
But that was never really clear.
Yeah, they kind of focus more on Annie's, I guess, her situation, like her job, and
Yeah.
No. It also kind of shows like, I like the idea that Lillian has this quote unquote perfect job that's kind of amorphous
Mhm.
because it's like how probably Annie feels on the inside. Just like Lillian's perfect with her perfect job and now a fiance and I don't, you know?
Yeah. Have you guys ever been a bridesmaid?
never. I mean, I'll be one soon,
Oh, yeah.
but
Or a maid of honor, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
pressure's on.
yeah. I know I'm gonna like make some speed. Nikki, please do not bring like a random best friend.
I will just so you can recreate that scene.
Have like a meltdown.
I was a bridesmaid last September, and it was like a whole production. It like took a year to get this whole thing going, and I was like, are we gonna have like a little rivalry? Like, is it gonna be kind of juicy like this movie?
Yeah, was it?
It's not as, I mean, it obviously just depends, but it wasn't as juicy as I was hoping.
Gotcha.
I feel like I've always heard stories, but never any like close and personal ones,
Mhm.
which is a shame.
It's a shame, and we still haven't.
Yeah.
Well, maybe now's your time to start.
Just start some drama.
I mean, I was a maid of honor for my aunt's wedding, which was very awkward because I didn't know why. Like I was like 17,
Really?
but I did give the speech and I killed it. I used it as my stand-up special
Oh, nice.
and I just really killed it.
Really? That's so funny. See, I don't ever want to be a maid of honor because of the speech. Because I cannot do a speech in front of people.
Would you be like Kristen Wiig? She's like, I just want to say I'm so happy for you both. Because it was a short speech when you think about it.
Yeah, that'd probably be me. Because I'm not good at making jokes. Or I think I just get so nervous and feel like I'd have to be so perfect. And I'd be like, I'll just give that to someone else.
Yeah.
There's always one person that like secretly wants to be a stand-up and would just probably take over. Oh, what I was going to say is that scene with Helen and Annie fighting over the mic at the party. It reminds me, Helen gives a lot of. Have you seen the SNL sketch with Kristen Wiig, Penelope?
Penelope.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
She is Penelope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She literally is. The whole movie she is. Because
Yes.
when they give the bridal shower gifts, Annie gives her a cute childhood, box thing. And then Helen goes, oh, well, I'm going to take you to Paris.
Yeah.
Lesbians.
We're all thinking it,
I
right?
love that scene so much. It is so funny.
The build up to that meltdown, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The fucking cookie. And it gets taken over by the heart-shaped cookie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how fun that was to film, just to break everything and throw things. Because I feel as an adult, you cannot behave that way in real life.
Right. It's cringy.
Yeah. But I mean, seeing it on screen and seeing Kristen do it, it's so funny.
I love it.
The intrusive thoughts just well.
It is so true. Like all her, like your intrusive thoughts, Annie is just like the embodiment of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just built up and it was like, I have to let this go.
I mean, even when she drives into the party and she's like wanting to hate on it the whole time, and the guy at the front gates gives her the lemonade and she's like, that shit's fresh. She's just angry about it.
Which that lemonade did look delicious.
That's actually the hardest blow, I think. Not the stealing of ideas. It's that everything, Annie like has a very sweet idea, and Helen, just because she has the means and just the means, it's not even she does something different. It's like she has to do it like 10 times better than Annie could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's like when Annie brings them to the dress shop and she can't get him in. And then Helen goes, hey, Whitney. And then they're like, oh, just come on in because Helen. It's the constant one-upping.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's interesting too because they show like there's such a discrepancy like financially between Helen and Annie. And it's kind of sad because it's like you can tell Annie's struggling. Like her but like I think they show a check where she only got like maybe 350 for her. I don't know if it's from her job or what, but you can just tell like she doesn't have a lot of money to spend. Right. So there's that aspect that no one seems to take into account, it seems. Or maybe she doesn't share. Maybe she's prideful or something. But like, there's that, which I feel like.
Well, like the post-recession, like her cupcake business is defunct. And like talking about the dress shopping scene before that, Annie takes them to this Brazilian restaurant. Which I feel like it's the scene. Yeah.
That scene always gets me.
What are our thoughts on the bridal scene? Because I think in retrospect, people are not as big of a fan. But I remember at the time, marketing wise, this was Bridesmaids. Like Maya Rudolph shitting in the street was Bridesmaids.
Yeah. Or the sitting on the sink and letting it rip.
Don't look at me. Don't come in here.
Yeah, it's like the idea that women can be gross. They can throw up and it can be funny. I think a lot of reviews maybe during that time were like, women shouldn't be shown throwing up or in the street. And I think that's where a lot of the backlash when that film came from. And it's like, well, if guys were doing it, it would be funny. So why can't girls do it?
I definitely feel like it broke some barriers.
For sure.
We wouldn't have like girls
random.
trip. Probably.
True.
Yeah. I like how they didn't show the bachelorette party, because they were supposed to go to Vegas. And I think they maybe didn't want to compete with the hangover party. I don't think they have like a...
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen
I'm just realizing that we actually didn't see that because we see them like traveling, but it's just hitting me now. We actually didn't.
Yeah. And then
to your point, it's really smart that they didn't show that though, not to really cross wires with the hangover so much.
Yeah.
This is like everything but
the
bachelorette party.
But that's not important. This it's a wedding film, but it's not really about the wedding or the parties. It's about the friendship and all the things that go wrong with the wedding.
Yes. There's so much chaos in this movie.
Like the Annie Lillian love story or friendship story is like the heart of the film. It like is the beating heart of Bridesmaids.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But back to the bridal shop scene for a hot sec. I think it's so funny when Helen, who didn't eat the Brazilian food, but everyone else did, when everyone else starts to get sick and Kristen Wiig's like, I'm not sick, and she's sweating profusely. And when Helen feeds her the Jordan almond,
she's like just trying to choke it down.
Yeah, she's like, I think I'm hungry, actually. I feel great. And you can tell she looks so uncomfortable.
The Fritz Bernays, the purple dresses are actually really pretty for bridesmaids dresses, low key.
$800, which I cannot imagine dropping that much for a dress.
You could always crop it and make it a mini dress.
True.
I would never have that foresight, though. I would probably just get rid of it. But
honestly, try to sell it somewhere and get half of the money back.
Yeah, truly. What is a good bridesmaid's dress, though? Do you make them look ugly? Do you make them look great? Like, what's the vibe?
I feel like nowadays, I don't know, something like kind of flowy and, you know, not like a pencil skirt, you know, something that might be in style for a while. And obviously something where you could wear to another event. That's my opinion. But I think a lot of times people are doing it where you just have a certain color and then you just get your own dress.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like that.
Yeah, not play like dictator puppet master with your friends.
Right. Right. It's like, I don't want to spend a fortune on a dress that I'm only going to wear once.
Yeah. I would love oh, go ahead.
And pockets. My bridesmaid dress had pockets, and it was so nice. So definitely.
So would you go with Annie's? Just like simple dress?
I actually did like Annie's the best because it was flowy. It was shorter. I honestly thought that was the cutest one.
Everything she said it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. I feel like as long as I had like approval, I'd be fine with any dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because some people might, I don't know, you have that one loose cannon friend who, you know, wears her Fashion Nova and you might be like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Like kind of, you got to make it look like you're part of the wedding party.
We talked about Rose Byrne as Helen, but I love Rose Byrne. I think she's an underrated actor who's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to give Rose Byrne her flowers for a second because she's great. And have you seen Spy? Have you seen Spy?
I have not.
Yeah. With Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, wait. Yes, I have. Yeah, maybe I have.
Yeah. Rose Byrne stands out to me in that movie.
I don't remember that.
It's worth a rewatch. She's one of the main characters, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I've seen her in things, and I always like her. Like,
I know she's in the Insidious movies, which I really loved her there.
I always get those confused with The Conjuring and like Via Farmiga.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is a whole nother cinematic universe.
Oh, man. I'm just so nostalgic nowadays for like early 2010s entertainment.
yeah.
Like it was just a great time. You got like the comedies like Bridesmaids and then like The Conjurings and Insidious is.
Yeah, I don't really watch new movies that come out.
I'm trying to.
I know.
Anyone gonna see Wonka?
Wonka?
No. No.
No.
I'm so intrigued by it.
You know what? I won't be surprised if like Christmas Eve I pull the like, hey fam, are you guys busy? Like, we're all bored. Let's go see Wonka.
I mean, I'd rather see Wonka than, I don't know, it's like an action movie. Because it's a musical, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a musical.
Well, they're not marketing it. Have you guys read this like big thing nowadays where like with Wonka and like the Mean Girls movie, like they're not promoting them as musicals because test audiences say that they don't like musicals?
Yeah, there's a part of me that's like, oh, now that I know, I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I have seen people complain, being like, by the way, they're going to sing a lot. But
I usually like musicals though. I just don't know how I feel about Wonka singing. You know what I mean? I mean, we've already kind of had the Tim Burton one was kind of like a musical.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, not to go on too much of a Wonka tangent.
I know. That's an edibles watch.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, I like Timothy. He's easy on the eyes. Like,
Yeah.
I obviously love Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah, you have a pillow, right?
Yeah, there he is.
Yes.
I'll take it to see Wonka and fall asleep.
There you go. Which,
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about him dating Kylie Jenner?
Love it.
It's interesting. I don't
I
know.
did not see it coming.
I'm like, is it real? Like, it's wild.
Yeah.
I love the wild card move. Like I picture him with like a Saoirse Ronan or something, but I love that he's like, no, I'm just Kylie Jenner.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's a major change from Travis Scott. So I mean, that was probably a good thing, honestly.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like I'm just blinded by Timothy Chalamet, though. I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever he does, I'm like, it's a great choice. I love the rumor that he gave, like, when he went to school, like, all of NYU chlamydia.
What?
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. That's like a thing.
You're
If
like,
you
I love
Google
that
it,
man.
if you Google Timothy Chalamet NYU, it'll pop up.
Really? Okay.
So that's my, like, Roman Empire. All the time I'm, like, on TikTok, it's like the algorithm knows that I just want to hear the story about random girls who went to, like, NYU in 2014.
That's crazy. Did he graduate from there?
I don't think so. I think he might have gone for a semester, but I don't believe. I know he went to like LaGuardia, that school with Lourdes Leon, Madonna's daughter, and everything. So
Okay.
I think it was just a trickle down effect.
Interesting.
Wow.
But
I don't know how to feel.
if I could make that transition to be like, speaking of chlamydia, if only.
Yeah.
No, but speaking of musicals, the ending scene with Wilson Phillips. So
Yes.
Hold On. Yeah, that is another stable like karaoke song, which is funny because I don't know when they were famous, like their peak, but it's an older song. And it's so funny, like a 12-year-old listening to that song.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't really know who Wilson Phillips was until this movie, but
I definitely didn't.
I did. Speaking of 12-year-olds listening to this song, or like earlier, this is one of those dentist songs. Like every time as a kid, I'd go to the dentist, they'd play like the 80s, 90s, and today. And this song was like a staple.
So funny. I know they do it in Glee. Did you guys watch Glee?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
not really, but
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the
They
first
still-
couple seasons were my jam.
Yeah. Yeah. It was when Demi Lovato was on Glee. And
Oh.
that's like, I don't know, season 5 or 6. And they sing that song. And that was a couple years after this movie had come out. And I was like, why do I know this song? And I was like, oh, it's in Bridesmaids. Duh.
I know I love that song, like how it encapsulates everything at the end. Just it's so perfect. It's fun seeing like Annie and Lillian just
Literal dance.
literal dancing.
Yeah. Throwback to when they were 16.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling in the world than like singing a really cheesy like 80s or 90s song and literal dancing with your best friend.
Yes. Which, did you guys know that at the end of the wedding, they show the audience and Paul Feig is in the audience?
Oh,
Did you know that?
no.
Yeah.
I've seen this film 100 times, and last night I just noticed that they show him as he's next to Becca's husband, and I was like, no way. How many times have I seen this and not realized that he's in the audience?
Oh,
Wow. That's
cool.
cool.
That I love like seeing the promotional photos for this film, and there's one of them with all the ladies and Paul Feig just like posing, and it's like the cutest thing.
I was gonna say, I love all of his other films, like A Simple Favor. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we talked about that recently for whatever reason. That's the one with
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that film. What else? He did Ghostbusters.
The 2016?
Yeah,
That
the
was
evil one, which is funny.
So divisive.
I know people got mad about that film.
I enjoyed it.
I liked
didn't
it.
see a problem.
I was like, I thought it was funny. I haven't seen the original ones with Bill Murray, but I thought this one was fine.
Yeah.
I
Both
think
can exist, I
yeah.
feel. Like they're so different. There's so much time between them. Like, I don't know. Why be upset?
Yeah, it's also like maybe it's a generational thing because I don't have a strong connection to the older Ghostbusters. That I was just like, oh yeah, a lady's doing it. That's cool.
Yeah. And Chris Hemsworth is in it too. So
Yeah, a little himbo. I love him. I don't know. I had no problem, but yeah, it put a lot of like grown men
yeah, it's like-
panties into a twist.
I know. It's like you guys got your version. Let us have
Yeah.
ours.
There's like 2 of them too, I think, right?
Yeah, like two or three,
A couple of them, yeah.
which I haven't seen, but
They're good. I do think they're good. But
Yeah, I think I tried watching it. I was like, this is kind of boring.
I liked the first one, but yeah, no real connection. I'm sure if they tried to do like a men's Bridesmaids, I might have like a problem.
Groomsmen.
Yeah, groomsmen. Doesn't have as good of a ring. I think that's a flop.
Yeah. Which I'm glad that they didn't do a sequel to this film because a lot of times sequels flop. And I think it just made sense to end it where it ended.
yeah, I don't know if you could recapture the magic. I mean, this
I
movie's so perfect.
Yeah. Like, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
I agree. I also think like the Bridesmaids Effect, like it would have made it a little less special because like it was oversaturated with like the Hangover effect where they made like 3 of those movies and like every movie now was like a bunch of dudes doing raunchy things. So I feel like this movie is probably so highly regarded even today, like 12 years later, because they didn't try to recapture the magic.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
Yeah. And I mean, unless they could get all of the bridesmaids back into the second movie, like it would be weird if they try to replace some of them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be right.
And then like what would be the message? Like I feel like this movie is kind of inspirational. Like it's kind of cool to see someone pull themselves out of like a depression period, you know, and make the best of things and be okay. I feel like Annie maybe struggles with change, which I feel like is a relatable thing. But I don't know what would be the conflict, you know? Like she makes up with Helen. You know what I'm saying? Like what would they do?
Yeah. Like would they, I don't know, prepare for another event going on, like a baby shower or something? But yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
For sure. Which I do love that scene when Annie is having her pity party and Melissa McCarthy comes in with like her 9 dogs and gives her a pep talk.
She's like, this is life. It's beating you up. And she just like tackles her. And
Yeah, that's such a good scene. And the dogs. Is that a thing in Paris to give away puppies? Like, I don't know, or if that was just like some random over the top detail that Helen thought was necessary.
pretty sure, yeah. I think she's
pretty
just being
sure.
extra. She's just because she can.
In the scene where Annie's leaving and Melissa like drives by and is like, I got 9 dogs. Like, why?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I love it. I love all of Melissa McCarthy's choices. Like even her like romance with the guy who plays her husband in real life on the plane.
Yes, the air marshal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when he makes cameos because it's almost in every film that she does. He just shows up somewhere.
Yes. I love that. I love a duo.
Yes.
Which speaking of a duo, like on the plane, the lady by Annie having the freak out is her best
Amy
friend.
Mumford. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. I also loved how in the film you see Becca and Rita bond. So
Yeah.
yeah. I love
You
that.
smell like pine needles. You're like Cinderella.
Yeah. I feel like that's a
Look at
quote
that.
I've seen a lot too.
Yeah. Because they are really polar opposites, you know, because one is really raunchy, is married, has kids, has done the thing. And then the other one is a newlywed and is like probably an adult, Disney adult.
She's a Disney
she's
adult.
definitely a Disney adult.
And then they just like end up bonding and making out on the airplane.
I love it.
Yeah. Everyone goes through some type of journey in this movie.
Yes.
Mhm.
Also, like Disney adults. For 1 second, thoughts on a Disney adult?
I mean, you do you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I was never really a Disney person, like the Mickey Mouse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I feel like I know a lot of Disney adults. Like I am a magnet to them.
I think it's funny when people say like Disney adults scare me.
They scare
They're
me.
terrifying, but I like what is her name? Is it Rita?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like the non-married, with kids version of Rita to Disney adults, where I'm like, let me corrupt you. Like, yes, I like Toy Story, but let's.
Yeah, her line was like, everyone needs those slutty college years.
I feel like that is me.
Yeah.
Like, can we talk about her relationship with Chris O'Dowd, Officer Rhodes?
Oh yeah. They have like a meet cute pretty much. Like
I love their meet cute.
Getting
he pulls
pulled.
her over for driving recklessly and she's like mocking Helen.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
He thinks she's like drunk initially and she's like, but if I was drunk, can I do this? And start like to dance.
Yep. And then using she wasn't really trying to get out of the ticket. She was just really sad. I was like, yeah, my business shut down and my boyfriend broke up with me. And then he's like, oh, well.
But he remembered Cake Baby. He's like, wait a minute.
So
You're Cake Baby.
had they met before? Could have.
Maybe they could have had one of those like invisible string kind of moments.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's a perfect date when they run into each other at the convenience store and he has the ugly carrot and they like sit on the cop car and do like the speed gun.
Uh-huh.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Also, my like version of therapy is watching the scene where Kristen Wiig is making the cupcake for herself after the time with Rhodes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Paper Bag by Fiona Apple's playing, and which is like
Yeah.
It's like she's finally trying to bake again. She's getting her magic back. Yeah.
Do you think she actually made those petals? Because they have,
Kristen Wiig?
they have those close-up shots where she's painting the dough. Like, do you think she really made that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Kristen Wiig's skills are.
What she's
outside of
capable
comedy.
of?
Yeah.
I
If
think
there's like an expert cake maker on set that just hops in.
I don't know. It's like maybe they're really good at editing different hands in the
Yeah, I wonder. I didn't look that closely at her hands.
I know. Usually I feel like I'm just so bought into this movie where I would usually be analytical, but yeah.
Yeah. I think she did have an art background. So
Yes,
I would
yes.
believe it.
Yeah. I like to believe it.
Yes.
I feel like it might hurt me to think that it wasn't. Like Annie made those cakes. It's real.
I believe it to
or
be
the
real.
carrot cake. The carrot cake that she made.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh. That's so cute.
Which I live for an I'm sorry cake. Like between this one and then in the Princess Diaries, the like pizza with the M&Ms spelling out I'm sorry.
Yes. So cute.
I love how like Officer Rhodes just leaves it outside though for the raccoons for days. Like it's
He's like, F you. I know. You're watching from the shadows.
Oh. Or when she's trying to find Lillian and getting his attention with Helen and she's just driving by.
Yes.
yeah, that scene
I don't-
cracks me up.
Yeah. I don't think I'd ever have the balls to do that. Even if it was my friend. It's like,
Definitely not even like hit the car. Like when she like taps his vehicle, like
I don't know. I can kind of relate to that.
really?
Like Loki. Oh yeah. I don't. Well, you know this about me. When I'm trying to get someone's attention, when rage takes over, I'll pull an Annie. Oh, Bree's probably been the
catch
Helen.
me.
Like, I feel sick.
She's like fully Fast and Furious style, like doing like car maneuvers.
Yeah.
I love when she like drives by with like gangster music and like the seats back.
Yeah. Wait, do you remember the scene where she's working at the jewelry store and the girl comes in? Have you seen the long version of that scene?
Yes.
It's so good. Like 10 minutes of just riffing. It's like so good.
I love that you're really popular, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure you really are. Yeah. That actress is talented.
What has she been in?
I think she was maybe in Tammy. I think she had like a 30-second scene. But other than that, I don't know.
She looks so familiar, but I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't it be like, guys, you wouldn't believe this, but she's the voice of Ursula.
She's the voice of Ursula. Her too.
But Tammy. Is Tammy a rewatch? Like a revisit? Does it hold up?
I don't know. It's like that. It's more of like a mother-daughter kind of film, right?
From what I remember, Melissa McCarthy, like right after this film, which she does get nominated for an Academy Award for,
Yeah.
which is bonkers.
That is wild.
I mean, deserving though. I love it. But she's inescapable for the whole 2010s.
Yeah, I feel like she was in so many movies. What was that other one like with Sandra Bullock?
Oh, The Heat.
The Heat.
Another Paul Feig.
Yes. She was in Spy. She was in Identity Theft with Jason Bateman.
Yes.
Yes, that is a rewatch. I love that one.
I remember preferring that to Tammy, but it's been a while.
I definitely prefer Identity Thief.
Yeah. I do remember going to see like Happy Time Murders and being like, I think I've witnessed the end of like the Melissa McCarthy era. I was like, this is a time.
I saw that. But didn't she go in the redo of Gilmore Girls?
I don't think
Oh, is she in the
remake?
Year in Life? Is she?
I don't think she's in A Year in the Life.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
she was Ursula in the new reboot of Little Mermaid.
That much is true.
Full circle. Yeah, I don't think I've really seen any Melissa McCarthy movies lately. I think
Bring her back.
Yeah, she was in Starlink? It was a Netflix film. It was like, I don't know, a drama.
I saw the ads with what's her face? Ma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Octavia Spencer?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry to Octavia Spencer that I'm like, I know her from Ma.
I know her from Help. So
Yes. Way better than Ma, even though Ma is iconic in its own ways.
I feel like I just love this movie. Like, I love the message in this movie. Like, I like how it's all wrapped up. Like, I love Wilson Phillips at the end. You know, holding on for one more day seems to kind of be the message. Just things will go your way, you know, eventually.
Break free from the chains.
Yeah. And like, you are your own problem, but you're also your solution. That's what I always take away from this film. Like, the most, I think. That and the friendship. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
It's just a feel-good film.
it really is. Yeah. You might hate this person, but put up with them long enough and you might like them. You might go to ramen sushi together.
Yes.
It is cool how Annie comes around to Helen eventually. Like, they come around to each other.
Mhm.
Just, it takes time.
It takes a long time. Yeah, it takes until Helen to finally break down the facade of my life is perfect and just to break down and be like, okay, Lillian is my only friend. I'm sorry. I've been an asshole, but I have no female friends and this is why I act the way I do.
Yeah.
And then they can kind of be friends or work.
Definitely. Yeah, there's like some meeting in the middle, which I think Bridesmaids is like one of my comfort movies. So it's funny that you suggested this and you were like, have you ever seen Bridesmaids? And I'm like, Brie and I based our whole like friendship on this movie. We love it so much. But as I watch it and as I grow older, there's a new appreciation because it is a raunchy comedy, but those characters are so well developed and the message is so much more nuanced than I think just a typical like raunchy friend, like buddy comedy. There's something about this film that really, they hit the nail on the head with the female friendships aspect of this film. And I don't think there's been a film like it.
Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah, I agree. Again, it's a wedding film, but it's not about the bride and the groom. It's about childhood friends and frenemies.
Yeah, it's even cool to see like Megan, like Melissa McCarthy's character, become friends with Annie. Like, it's just like all these women spending time together. Like they eventually, like, I don't know. It's just kind of neat to see.
Yeah, they all bond over this. This one person, Lillian, who they all know, and then they create new friendships.
Yeah.
They're all a little fucked up and weird, but that's like what makes them really special.
Yeah, because they are also different too.
Yeah. Yeah. And they like, I don't think they really knew each other before the wedding because they were all from different aspects of Lillian's life. And then they all bond.
Thinking about it now, I'm like, maybe I do want to see a Bridesmaids too.
Bring them back.
That would be so moving if they did randomly. Or even just like an SNL sketch,
Yeah.
If they just somehow brought back at least 3 of them. Yeah. Oh, I would love to see that.
I would eat up a Barb and Star 2 with the Bridesmaids cast, just as different wacky characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just something where they can play off each other again.
Yeah. Maybe something entirely different, but just get that cast back together.
What would you rate it?
Oh, yeah. What would you rate it?
Oh, out of, what's the highest number? 10? 5?
10. Yeah.
10? Oh, 10.
5 or 10. Or,
10. The highest that you can get. Yeah, absolutely. It's that one film that I can watch every single time and not get sick of.
Yes.
What about you, Brie?
10. It never disappoints. Yeah.
Same.
It's an easy 10. Like
10 wonky carrots for me.
Yes. Yeah. Timeless.
10 gosh, I don't know, like I'm like dresses that are soiled.
Soiled dresses.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. It sounds bad, but it's one of the best parts of the movie.
It really is.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, rate and review us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts.
And thank you so much, Grace, for being on. And please come on again.
Yeah, we'd love to have you again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I totally cut you off there.
It's okay.